Steam Pipe Maintenance Report. To all maintenance staff, one of the covers came off of the pipes in the barge passageway, and now there's steam pouring out of it. The steam is scalding, so you'll have to do a little work around to get by it. In the engine room, there are 2 levers. Use the levers to match the needle on the meter to the proper letters. This will stop the steam from spilling out of the pipes. The letters and corresponding locations are as followed. A. Maintenance room. B. Engine room upper level. C. Engine room lower level. Remember, if you stop the steam from leaking in one area, it will leak out in another. Keep this in mind when adjusting the needle and using the relevant areas. Memo left in the engine room. Timing is needed to restore power. 2 keys must be used at the same time. Just in case, I put the reset key you know where. Know where I'm talking about? You don't? Geez, you really need to get it in gear. Veltro's Agents Journal 1, 2004. We are at last putting our final plan into action. Jack Norman, our leader and brother-in-arms, came up with this plan. When we first heard it, we had our doubts that it could even be pulled off. But now the time has come to enact this extraordinary plans, thanks to the steel will of our comrades and the one who supported our ideas with his power and influence. He has prepared these ships for our use. These luxury liners are a symbol of the degradation of humanity, and will be a fitting vessel for the distribution of the virus that will purge humanity. I have been assigned the task of boarding the Queen Zenobia for our mission. Bernard Cordy, 2004. 12 hours until mission start. My body's trembling, and I can't stop it. It could be the excitement, or the fear, or both. Strange biological organisms created by the virus are milling around the secret lab in the bilge. The virus can be dissolved into water, so anyone who drinks that water will be turned into a monster. The hunter type BOW was affected off-site and will spread the virus on land. The decadent eyesore that is the floating city will soon be turned into a veritable hell on earth. We must bring hell to the people, or the scale will never fall from their eyes. That is how Norman prefaced it. If that grizzled financier of ours believe in Norman, then we who serve him must do so as well. Bernard Carty. Suicide note. The writing is small and shaky. It's the end of the line for me. I only have one bullet left. A lot of good that's gonna do me in a fight. No. That bullet's all from me. So long, everybody. It was a good ride while it lasted. Scam Iglione Development Documents. Scam Iglione is a BOW that utilizes the well-suited DNA of a shark. The genetic makeup of sharks have changed very little during their history as predators for millions of years, and the use of that DNA provides the fierce aggression of these weapons. The Scam Iglione form and color resembles that of its shark ancestors, and its spiny appendages resemble slants. The spines are the characteristics of cartilaginous fish. They form when an area of placoid scales mature and combine with hardened muscle fiber. This allows the creatures to use piercing attacks and move with as much agility as land animals. On top of this, the scales are as strong as an armored car, far surpassing the scales of a normal shark. This gives them unparalleled frontal defense. Completion of new type of virus. The T-Abyss virus contains genetic materials from both the Abyss and the T-Virus. In of itself, it is not much of a threat, but it has allowed us to lay groundwork for the studies of weaponized marine viruses. I fear, however, that my name will someday be known for assisting with the production of the world's most terrible weapon. If a concentrated liquid form of the virus were to be released in a large enough area of the sea, our data indicates that it would contaminate all of the world's ocean in a very short time, starting with bacteria. At this point of contamination, and then causing a chain reaction that would impact all forms of sea life. Once the T-Abyss virus contaminates an area of the sea, it will cause mutation at a generic level to all life forms in the area. It would be impossible to predicting the severe ecological impact on humanity. I have doubts as to whether the research I am doing here is actually to prevent bioterrorist and biohazard outbreak. Veltro's Agent Journal 2. 2004 mission elapsed time 2+ days. The mission was a success. Tigresia is now a full-blown hell on earth. We unleashed the ultimate virus to render the city with terror and violence. The FBC sent the soldiers, but they were like lambs before lions. We have achieved our goal. The world will know that they do not have to wait for hell. It's already here. Open your eyes, world. Open your eyes to the truth. Werner Corti. 2004 mission elapsed time 5+ days. The ship has been contaminated. The virus have turned my comrades into horrible monsters. And those things turned everyone else into monsters. Why is this happening? We were going to bring hell to the masses, not have hell brought on us. The same thing is happening at the Samarinas. The virus have contaminated all the ships. It can't be a coincidence. Someone was using us all along. But who? None of us would ever betray Veltro. The only one who would do this is our mysterious financier. He's the only one who's not here. Norman, we need your guidance. Deliver us from this evil. The rest of the page is missing. Metacoda developing materials. The development of the codename Metacoda happened by pure chance. We were affecting various species of fish with the T. abyss virus as part of our research into marine-based BOWs. By chance, one of the test subjects was contaminated with parasites. The parasite is Gyrodactylus salaris, a small mammalian ectoparasite. When the T. abyss is used to affect the host, it not only affects the host, but the parasite as well. The unique mutation forms with the dual affection, having allowed us to improve our overall BOW development. A larva Metacoda is only about 1 centimeter in length. Because it's so small, it can only be used as a parasite to infect the host by secreting a liquid that contains the virus. The parasite mutates inside the host and matures rapidly. Perhaps the synergenous effect of the T. abyss and the secretions causes an increase to the metabolism of the organism. The size to which the Metacoda can develop is contingent upon the size of the host, while clinical testing have yet to be carried out. If a whale were to be used as the host, there's no limits to the size Metacoda could assume. Affected law of Queen Zenobia. Researcher Ryan, ID 503321. 2004 After the final note was played in the tragedy known as the Terragresia Panic, we seized the ship and carried out our mission quickly and secretively. The Regia Soulist destroyed the city. Now this ship is the only place where we can observe the spread and mutation of the T-virus, along with ancillary research. This is the perfect environment to conduct research, and we must make the most of it. The only setback is the host infected with the T-Abyss virus. This will make research very difficult for us. It will not last long as the place of research and science before the entire place is overwhelmed with creatures. We must act quickly. 2005. Our research on the virus have proceeded rather smoothly, and we were able to develop a proper vaccine. With all our goals accomplished, there is no longer any need for this ship. We have decided to abandon it. A few members of our team did not survive long enough to see this moment, but that is the cost of doing research. We told Lansdale about our breakthrough with the vaccine. He showed uncharacteristic felicity. There is something scribbled in after the area where the pages are torn out. As soon as the research data was sent, the doors to the factory was shut, and the BOWs awakened from their cryogenic sleep. I don't understand how I could have missed seeing that Veltro wasn't the only disposable pawns in all of this. Almost funny, really. I see now that it was he who arranged for all those things to come to pass. He gave the terrorists the T-Abyss virus, which led to the Terragresia Panic. That gave us lots of valuable data on infections, which led to eventually development of the vaccine. And thanks to his position of authority, he used the Regia Soulist to eradicate the virus, the terrorists, and all the fools in that city. Any trace or link to us vanished with it. The end result, however, is that the world is now afraid of the virus, and the FBC charter has been strengthened and expanded. I am awestruck with the degree of perfection with which Lansdale orchestrated all of these events. This one for the history books, to be sure. Hopefully the demand for the vaccine will bring the rest of us to the accolades and riches we so justly deserve. The rest of the scribble is illegible. Mysterious journal. He finally made his move. I don't even know how long I've been waiting for this. My mission is key to success. It is my reason why I've given up so much already. In order to get incontrovertible evidence to use against Morgan, I had to bring Veltro back to life. I thought this plan was weak, dangerous even. When O'Brien first brought it to me, but we couldn't figure out any alternative that would work. We set up a fake base of operation for Veltro in the mountains of northern Europe. And then we spread rumors of a big op Veltro was planning to the BSAA. When the BSAA began their investigation, Morgan started to panic. Those spies of his must have tipped him off. Morgan is very careful, and he's suspicious by nature. I suspect that everything went well because we didn't leak the news of Veltros directly to the FBC. It's like the saying goes, be careful of the web you weave. I was able to hijack the Queen Zenobia before Veltro could do anything to it. Even still, I could not find anything that links Morgan to his illegal activities. As such, it has come time to become more proactive in this mission. I must bring BSAA agents here and then disguise myself in order to deceive them into thinking that Veltro has managed to survive. Any of Morgan's spies in the BSAA will try to contact him, and that's when we'll get our chance. According to O'Brien's report, Morgan's dogs already attacked the fake base we set up. The parameters of this mission are quite fluid, and as such, leaving lethal options on the table. I will do whatever it takes to see this mission through, even if it costs me my life. Daily Courier, Article 1. London Daily Courier, Tragedy in Terra Grigia by Donatello Lasashi. A beast slouches towards Europe to be born, and that beast is the Federation Bioterrorist Commissions. What is unique about this beast is that the Federation Species Protection Community that gave birth to it was no beast itself, and was intended to assist the U.S. in its counter-bioterrorist effects. Unfortunately, Europe has become home to a tragedy that has roused the beast. The FBC has taken complete control of the biohazard outbreak in Terra Grigia and has in effort barred the participation of other countries. Terra Grigia is an octropolis that was developed jointly by the U.S. and European terms to research and develop alternative energy source. The impetus behind the city development was twofold. The Europeans wanted to halt climate change, and the Americans hoped to develop energy sources for Africa. To that end, the city was placed strategically in the Mediterranean Sea. Terra Grigia has enjoyed cooperative administration by both sides and have been held up as a model success. U.S. and Europe cooperation. The terrorist attack in Terra Grigia have put the kibosh on that. According to the conditions stipulated in the treaty outlining Terra Grigia governance, both the U.S. and Europe have equal authority during a terrorist attack. Only during the event of bioterrorism does the FBC assume a leadership role. The FBC was formed with the express purposes of dealing with the threats posed by bioterrorism. They have a crack squad of soldiers on permanent standby, and by that measures, they have the most expensive charters of any organization in Europe. During a time of crisis, they have the blessing of the US to take charge and take control of the situation. And that is how the FBC came to be in charge of the current chaos in Terra Grigia. FBC Commissioner Morgan Lansdale has announced that EU involvement will not be tolerated while his organization deals with the crisis. European authorities pressed Lansdale to respect their rights in this matter, and they were able to convince him to bring in Commander Clive R. O'Brien of the BSAA, as well respected international civilian groups. The problem, however, is that even though O'Brien himself is a bioterrorism expert, he is working with virtually no support staff, which limits the scope of actions he can take. While the story on the tragedy is still unfolding, it would seem that the FBC is ignorant to the extent of the suffering in Terra Grigia. Whether Lansdale has the ability and intelligence to handle the attack without becoming a Jensen beast also remains to be seen. Picked up voice recording.
This is Agent Dario Barioni of the FBC Armed Forces. The time is 1948. I request that this recorder be handed over to General Lansdale. If found by the next team, everyone on my team is dead. Killed by the devil himself. We were unable to retrieve the video log. Our mission has failed. Veltro, they weren't sitting around waiting for death to come to them. When the FBC arrived, they were waiting for us, even though Terra Grigia was a year ago. Thoughts of revenge kept them alive.
For the cost of Veltro. He was half-turn. The one who was very strong, well, he was almost, what's that? He almost fought off his mutation. Can you see those conflicts? Excuse me, Chris. No, not only lots of Veltro, but also
a bunch of martyrs to their cause.
also a law friend, R.I.P. His love for his wife match only his, I think it's a loyalty to Veltro. Only matched by his love for Veltro. R.I.P. children grow up in a world not corrupted by lies and Dante Alighieri's La Divina Commedia, an offering to the dead. A passage has been underlined. How will the rain maketh them like unto dogs? One side they make a shelter for the other. Oft turn themselves the wretched reprobate. Dante's Alighieri's La Divina Commedia, Inferno Canto 6. It is blank. There is something written on the edge of the page in sloppy handwriting. Those who offer their lives to the doctrine forever walk the path with the great Jack Norman.
The Queen Dido is already deep below the sea. There's no escape, no chance of survival. Unless... in remembrance of our sins. But for you, Morgan, never shall there be rest. We rise from the dead, our spirit in callous and immutable force. Our interactions are right in here. We shall become guardians of the truth for as many years as it may take. The means of dispersion?
The cruise ship is equipped with a UAV. That is your delivery system.
Very well. Now show me the goods.
Bonafide T-Abyss. No vaccine. Not yet.
Yes, of course. A little bit of this could turn a city inside out.
I think we're done. I'll be on my way.
Who would have thought, yes? That the lowly terrorists would receive a helping hand from the venerable commissioner of the FBC.